We are broadcasting, I believe. Hey, good evening and welcome to Folknet Spring Concert Series. My name is Charlie Mossbrook. We are doing a live streaming concert once a month right now.
Charlie, you just muted yourself.
Oh, no, that's not what I meant to do. All right, pardon me. I pressed the wrong button there. Okay, now I've pressed all the right buttons. Good evening and welcome to Folknet Spring Concert Series. My name is Charlie Mossbrook. This evening we have a wonderful concert set up for you. It is presented in part by Cuyahoga Arts and Culture, who have provided us some funding. The other funding we receive comes from you. We have in the descriptions of the stream, you will find links to our membership page where you can go and become a member of Folknet, or just donate to say, hey, we like this kind of programming and we want to see more concerts and we like what you're doing. So please go check that out and become a member of Folknet and help to keep us a vibrant part of our community and keeping folk a vibrant part of our community. This evening we have two wonderful performers. We have Rollin Porter, and then we have Raleigh Brown, who will follow Joe. So we're going to get started this evening with Joe, one heck of a finger picker. I've known him, I don't know, he showed up at an open mic of mine probably 10 years ago, and we've been going out to the Folk Alliance events and recorded him right at the beginning of the pandemic. We were trying to start a recording project, and then the pandemic hit, and it stopped. But anyway, please welcome Joe Rollin Porter. Here he goes. And let me make sure he is unmuted here, and I'm muted. And I'm also going to remove Raleigh and I.
Don't know how I got here, sure don't know what for. Don't know where I'm going next, I just hope it doesn't hurt anymore. Hope it doesn't hurt anymore. Here come those same old demons, they're howling from the devil's door. If I ever make it through this, I will never do evil anymore. Never do evil anymore. Thank you for that wonderful round of applause, everyone out there. Thank you so much, Charlie Mossbrook and Folknet, for this. I'm having a fabulous time. And that was a song I called Don't Know. And here's a song that I call Jane Crow Blues Revisited. I would wade through filthy water, cross back frozen snow, but I swear to God I will not play Jane Crow. 'Cause I've done my time, suffering down in those cells with the guards and the wardens are prisoners sure as hell. And I do not those cocks can strut. The time's coming, all those bad boys gonna get plucked. I will cook your dinner, baby, and I'll wash your dirty clothes. But that does not mean I will play J. Crow. Why can't you all see how much it's doing harm? Playing those slaving games like Parchment Farm. Well, a big storm's coming, it's gonna blow some houses away. Have to help your neighbor, need a place to stay. Trouble's here, trouble's everywhere. So much trouble, baby, floating around in the air. What we gonna do now when your troubles get bad like mine? What we gonna do when your troubles get bad like mine? Well, thank you for letting me play here tonight, everyone. I'm glad we're all here together. I hope you're having a good time. I certainly am. This next song I'm going to play is one that from the first time I heard it, I loved it and felt like I'd known it all my life. But it also seemed strange and exotic and new. And that happens with a lot of old music for me. But this one, I eventually discovered the reason why it sounded so familiar is that the melody of it is very close cousins to a gospel tune that I used to sing in Sunday school when I was a wee one back in the days when I used to do that sort of thing. And that's why I knew it. And on a similar note, it's kind of interesting, the lyrics can trace back to England 200 or 300 years ago. And it was a song about getting chased down by the law enforcement. Gonna come to get you. And it's a song that, it's at least a theme that people have been singing about and writing about and talking about for quite a long time. To stop anytime soon, unfortunately. But here's a nice song I hope you like. All about it. This is called Police and the High Sheriff. Hanging around and fooling about, sure get you down, sure get you down, sure get you down. Hanging around and fooling about, sure get you down. If you hang around and fool about too long, police and high sheriff riding down, riding down, riding down. Police Police and high sheriff come riding down, and you know you don't want to go. In the jailhouse, sure get you down, sure get you down, sure get you down. 30 days in the jailhouse, sure keep you down. You know you don't want to go. Police and high sheriff come riding down, riding down, riding down. Police and high sheriff come riding down, and you know you don't want to go. Your chain gang gonna carry you down, carry you down. God's in the chain gang and drag you on down, and you know you don't want to go. Police and high sheriff come riding down, riding down, riding down. Police and high sheriff come riding down, and you know you don't want to go. Hang around and fool about, she'll get you down, she'll get you down, she'll get you down. Hang around and fool about, she'll get you down. If you hang around and fool about too long, high sheriff come riding down, riding down, riding down. Police and high sheriff come riding down, and you know you don't want to go. Oh boy, that's always a fun one, but sometimes it wins me just a little bit. Imagine that. I learned that one from a recording by a fellow named Dallas Martin from Alabama. He recorded that in the 20s, and he just sang it a cappella. Then when he wasn't singing, he played mouth harp. So if you like that, check him out too. Well, I've got one more song to leave you folks with. I hope you're all sticking around for Raleigh Brown. My name's Joe Rollin Porter. Rollin pronounced same way Raleigh pronounces Raleigh. How about that? Thank you again, Folknet. Everybody, if you're not a member already, how many people are members out there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. Okay, well, if you're not a member already, become a member, folknet.org. It's a great organization. And make sure your membership is renewed. All that too. Well, this last song I'm going to leave you with, Cuyahoga Arts and Culture too. Thank you so much for helping keep Folknet afloat. That's great. You do a lot of good in the community, just like Folknet does. This one is, this was already a golden oldie when Uncle Dave Macon recorded it back in 1927 or so. But I think there's still some juice left in it, or I'm going to try to squeeze it out anyway. This is an old riverboat tune called Sarah Jane. I got a wife and 5 little children. Gonna take a trip on the big Muskegon. Oh, Sarah Jane. Oh, there's nothing to do but to sit down and sing. Rock about my Sarah Jane. Rock about my Sarah Jane. Rock about my Sarah Jane. Oh, there's nothing to do but to sit down and sing. Rock about my Sarah Jane. whistled and squawed, captain fell overboard. Oh, sail, oh, Jane. Oh, there's nothing to do but to sit down and sing. Rock about my Sarah Jane. Rock about my Sarah Jane. Rock about my Sarah Jane. Oh, there's nothing to do but to sit down and sing. Rock about my Sarah Jane. But the ship from the boat, the muskets is loaded and it's gonna hold a level. Oh, Sarah Jane. Oh, there's nothing to do but to sit down and sing. Just rock about my Sarah Jane. Rock about my Sarah Jane. Rock about my Sarah Jane. Oh, there's nothing to do but to sit down and sing. Rock about my Sarah Jane. There's nothing to do but to sit down and sing. Rock about my Sarah Jane. There's nothing to do but to sit down and sing. Rock about my Sarah Jane.
Yay.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joe. I just brought Raleigh back into the room. And I'm going to mute you, Joe, just so that we don't get weird echoes. Anyway, hey, that's Joe Rollin Porter. Thank you, Joe. Joe is one heck of a player. Forgive some of the weird ambient sounds. I share my little studio space with a cat litter box, and he is currently cleaning things up. That's life from home. I took a big step myself this afternoon in getting back to normal, where we can start to gather again, hopefully in the future. I'm not sure when that's going to be for Folknet, but for now we're going to continue to stream concerts through at least through the summer, and we will keep you posted on what we've got going. Next month, we've got a really cool concert. It's Bing Futch. He is a dulcimer player, a mountain dulcimer player. You can find him all over YouTube. Incredible player. Entertaining human being. I'm really looking forward to this. And right before he plays, we're going to have an opener, Gretchen Ploss, who is originally from Akron. She's currently in another city that starts with A up north. It's called Ann Arbor. She is in school up there. Anyway, she'll be opening for Bing Futch. If you're not familiar with Bing Futch, I really encourage this. It'll be a great concert. Anybody familiar with the dulcimer community is probably well aware of Bing. So stick around for that. As Joe had told us before, we have some links down in the description where you can find membership links. Last year, we asked everybody to hold on to their membership fees, and we just thought, let's wait this out a little bit. Nobody's got money. Everybody was trying to figure out the world. So we just sat on it. We didn't ask for membership fees. This year, we're hoping to get that back going again. So if you like what we're doing, please consider supporting us by becoming a member and possibly donating to what we're doing. And we are very grateful for that. I don't have anything else. Again, this is all brought to you by Cuyahoga Arts and Culture. Next up this evening, we have our main event. His name is Raleigh Brown. He is an incredible performer. He's originally from the Euclid area, went to Kent State back in the early 70s, and he's a national finger picking champion. What else has he done? And if you look all over YouTube, some of this is being streamed on YouTube. Raleigh has some of the best instructional videos out there. So if you're sitting around trying to figure out how do I flat pick properly, look up Raleigh. Raleigh will teach you. he'll tell you more about that. Anyway, let me go ahead and introduce him and get out of the way and let Raleigh play because we have a wonderful concert. By the way, all the chat going on tonight, I'm loving it. This that kind of activity while people are performing, we don't like it in real life, but online, this is how we engage. Is we look down, we see the chat, and we can see that you're there and you're having fun. So thank you and keep it up. Keep Raleigh energized and going. And I am going to give him his mic, and I'm going to shut up. Anyways, this is Raleigh Brown.
Uh-oh, I'm in trouble here. I'm trying to get onto the chat thing because I can't chat. I'm not getting any chat. So can you send me some? Who knows? Hi, folks. I'm Raleigh Brown, and I'm coming to you from Eastern Pennsylvania tonight. Although I was, as Charlie said, raised in beautiful Euclid, Ohio, and let's kind of get right to it here. So I'm going to start out. I'm going to do you a song written by a friend of mine. Her name is Cozy Sheridan, and we've been talking a lot, me and many of my musician friends during the pandemic, and also many of my my fans, as it were, or people who come by my concerts every week, and trying to keep our spirits up, and some of that is songwriting. So here's Cozy Sheridan's song called "All You Gotta Do Is Be Happy." Charlie said, click chat button upper right corner below the red. And it just says reading list. Not working. Well, we're going to keep working on this. All I'm getting is private chat. And I have to sign in free. Shall we take a moment, folks? Hang with me because, see, I like to have all my friends on with me, and it's going to give me a login code, and that means I'm going to have to go here. This is not part of the price of admission. You don't have to pay extra to watch this happen, and we will just wait around here for a minute. There's my login code. And it's 721388. Okay, so we do 721388. And I'm logged in. And onward. And let me see if I go back here right now, if we get any... help me. Oh, there we are here. No, I still don't see anything coming in. It told me to choose something. Well, Charlie, you come on for a second and tell me what platform I should choose.
What platform?
Yeah, I got this page. I could choose Facebook page, Facebook group, Facebook profile, LinkedIn page, YouTube channel.
I would go to Facebook page.
Facebook page?
Yeah.
You're not a group, just a page.
Just a page, yeah.
Okay. Or a Facebook profile.
Go to Facebook.
That would be my profile, though. I don't know. Well, I'll try Facebook page. You need to grant a few permissions to connect to a Facebook page. Nope, we're not going to do that. Well, it looks like I may not be able to find out what my friends are saying. I would feel bad. Well, this isn't the way you want to have a concert. So I guess I'm just going to live with what I got here.
They are saying hello. They're excited to hear the music. Everybody's looking for it. Okay. I'm gonna.
Okay, there, no, wait a second. I might still have a chance. Okay. I think it's going to at least it's going to my profile page. And I don't know what no, this is too much like work. Okay, well, we tried. So let's take it from the top. And for all my friends, you can leave comments on my page at Raleigh Brown on Facebook, and I will read them later. So, but really, all you need to know is this. Well, all you gotta do is be happy. Happy's gonna get you by. Better not to make it a project. Now happy's not something you try. Well, all you gotta know is it'll come and go. It wasn't designed to stay. All you gotta do is be happy. Just some part of the day. Now all you gotta do is be happy in this moment as it arrives. Happy isn't looking for a medal. He's just happy to be alive. But don't hold too tight, that's not what he likes. And then he gets hard to find. Happy doesn't really like Mondays much, but he's trying to change his mind. He's gonna hang around. He's gonna putter in the yard, but he'll let you down if you expect him to work too hard. You know, happy is kinda like breathing, and a little like the Gordian knot. 'Cause if all you want to do is be happy, well then pretty soon you're not. So all you gotta do is be happy. Happy's gonna get you by. Better not to make it a project. Happy isn't something you try. Well, all you gotta know is it'll come and go. It wasn't designed to stay. All you gotta do is be happy. Just some part of the day. Yeah, all you gotta do is be happy. Just some part of the day. So I'm still seeing stuff here where I don't know where there is a menu, Charlie. We're still trying to get me hooked up to stuff like that, but Jesus, let's just let it go. So, Cozy Sheridan, check her out. She and Charlie Koch on her Facebook page. Charlie is her husband who plays bass and sings harmonies. They do a stream every Tuesday morning at 10:30 in the morning, Eastern Time. Great music. Next up, I'm going to do an instrumental I learned part of it 45 years ago, maybe 50, but then I learned the rest of it the day before yesterday. And it was written by a guy named Jack McGann, and Jack was a very dear friend of mine for many years, but by the time I knew him, he had already gone on out of the kind of folk and ragtime world into the jazz world. And he never played this kind of stuff then, but he wrote this very cool little rag called the Calico Rag. And somebody in San Francisco showed me the first part of it years before I even met Jack. And then I found it on a tape that Stu Goldberg, a friend of mine from San Francisco in the old days, had sent me. Kind of shortening the story here. I could go on and on, but I won't. So this is called the Calico Rag. that's The Calico Rag, written by Jack McGann sometime probably in the 60s, 1960s. And Charlie's filling me in here. He says, "Yay, they all say." So keep doing that, Charlie. Write in the names of some of the people. I wanna know where my peeps are. Suki the dog is right over here. We may get to take a look at her before we're done here, as the evening goes on. This next song is by a great pop star, and I don't usually do songs by pop stars. But this song is a really special one. For you to understand it, you have to either have read The Grapes of Wrath, or I need to give you a little speech. So the song is called The Ghost of Tom Joad. It was written by the boss, who's from not too far from where I am, actually, Bruce Springsteen. And Tom Joad is a character in that John Steinbeck novel, and he's a regular guy who, through a series of circumstances, gets in trouble and is influenced by a preacher who is an activist, and he kind of has to run from the law, but also become somebody who tries to do good in the world, somebody who gets out there. And you'll hear it in the last verse, which is almost a quote from the book, actually. Thanks for some of those names: Ann and Kathy and Terry and Steve Maybell. Yay. And walking down on the railroad track, they're going someplace there's no going back. Highway patrol choppers coming up over the ridge. Hot soup on a camp stove under the bridge. Shelter lines stretching round the corner. Welcome to the New World Order. Families sleeping in their cars in the Southwest. No home, no job, no peace, no rest. Now the highway is alive at night. Nobody's kidding nobody about where it goes. And I'm sitting down here in the campfire light, searching for the ghost of Tom Joad. He pulls a prayer book out of his sleeping bag. Preacher lights up a butt and takes a drag, talking how the last shall be first and the first shall be last. Living in a cardboard box on the underpass. You got a one-way ticket to the promised land. You got a hole in your belly and a gun in your hand. Sleeping on a pillow of solid rock, bathing in the city's aqueduct. Well, the highway is alive at night, and where it's headed everybody knows. And I'm sitting down here in the campfire light, waiting on the ghost of Tom Joad. Tom said, well, Mom, wherever you see a cop beating a guy, where a hungry newborn baby cries, where there's a fight against the blood and hatred in the air, well, look for me, Mom, I'll be there. Wherever somebody's struggling to be free, for a decent job or a helping hand, where somebody's looking for a place to stand, well, look in their eyes, Ma, you'll see me. Where the highway is alive at night, nobody's kidding nobody about where it goes, and I'm sitting down here in the campfire light with the ghost of old Tom Joad. Yeah, the highway is alive at night, nobody's kidding nobody about where it goes, and I'm sitting down here in the campfire light with the ghost of old Tom Joad. With the ghost of old Tom Joad. Bruce Springsteen and the Ghost of Tom Joad. And I think I'm going to do, this is actually kind of a bluegrass tune. Oh, Ken Terrell from England, nice to know you're there. Robin Stratton, I knew she'd be here because she's a good friend and probably lobbied to have me do this gig. So, and Charlie said they listened to Bruce and Barack today in the car. I would like to hear that. So I'm going to tune this down a little. We might avail ourselves of a little bit of electronics here because in the heat of battle. And this is a song by Peter Rollin. And it's kind of a bluegrass tune, but I kind of gave it a bluegrass-ectomy, is the way I usually describe it. And because it's got such a beautiful lyric that I didn't want that lyric to go by too quickly amidst a flurry of notes. And one of the things recently I listened to the version of it on the album Old and in the Way, which was a project with Peter Rowan and Jerry Garcia and I think maybe who was that guy who was a great fiddler? Somebody Green. But I digress. Anyhow, they actually do a version where you can hear the lyrics. Well, if you ever feel lonesome, you're down in San Antone, just beg, steal, or borrow 2 nickels or a dime. Call me on the phone. I'll meet you at Alamo Mission, and we can say our prayers. The Holy Ghost and Virgin Mother will heal us as we kneel there in the moonlight, in the midnight, in the moonlight, midnight moonlight, in the moonlight, in the midnight, in the moonlight, midnight moonlight. And if you ever feel sorrow for love that you have wronged, with no hope for tomorrow, in the setting of the sun, and the ocean is howling with dreams that might have been, and your last good morning sunrise be the brightest you've ever seen. In the moonlight, in the midnight, in the moonlight, midnight, moonlight, in the moonlight, in the midnight, in the moonlight, midnight, moonlight. So if you ever feel lonesome and you're down in San Antone, just beg, steal, or borrow 2 nickels or a dime, and call me on the phone. Call me on the phone. So that's Moonlight Midnight by Peter Rowan. And Peter Rowan is a remarkable character. You know, he played in the most traditional bluegrass band in the world, Bill Monroe and the Bluegrass Boys. And he was also one of the most kind of far out hippie musicians. Played in, I think he was in a band, Earth Opera, with David Grisman. Let's do this again. And I think the best way to describe him is that he's the only bluegrass songwriter who ever used the word bodhisattva in a song. I once heard him at Falcon Ridge, and he played a song with the word bodhisattva in it. Which I thought was just fantastic. So when I was a youngster in Cleveland, after I went to Kent, you know, and I became involved in the Kent State Folk Festival, and so we through a series of misadventures, because we couldn't get anybody else, we ended up booking the Reverend Gary Davis, who, unbeknownst to me, was the greatest living ragtime blues guitarist. I knew that he had some chops, you know, so I was happy to get him, but we only got him because he was the only guy Folklore Productions had left. They had already booked out, you know, Tom Rush and Spider John Kerner and Ramblin' Jack Elliott and blah 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 blah. He was the only guy, so we said, "Oh, okay, we'll take him." It was like choosing off a menu, and it was a great experience. I kind of got to be his me and maybe one or two other guys got to sort of mainly be his chaperones. And at the end of the weekend, he sat with me for a couple hours while we were waiting to go to the airport and just showed me one guitar tune after another. It was one of the great moments of my life, you know. So I'm going to play you an instrumental of his. It's called The 12 Sticks, or The Boy Was Playing the Guitar and Kissing the Girl at the Same Time, which Reverend Davis would have been glad to do, I'll tell you. So The 12 Sticks. Kate Petrella laments not being able to interact with you. I lament too, Kate. It's a little bit of a bummer, but what are you going to do? We should have done a little more research before we started. That's the 12 Sticks by the Reverend Gary Davis. A little bit of hot guitar playing there. And speaking of hot guitar playing, Joe Rollin played some really cool stuff. I love that. There's a kind of frailing thing he does, which is just beyond my capabilities, but it's I really enjoyed listening to that. It was great stuff. So it's time to sing you a song about Suki the dog. I guess we can do this. I'm going to pull this over a little bit, and then we'll do this. That, ladies and gentlemen, is Suki the dog. Adopted a little over 9 years ago. She was adopted from Bonaparte's Retreat, which is a dog rescue. You're going to look into the camera. That Emmylou Harris started in her backyard. And there's a long story to how she got adopted, but you can just listen to this song and it'll tell you probably everything you need to know. It's called Two Old Dogs. I mostly travel solo. It's a burden I bear. Out alone on the highway, just trying to get somewhere. My wife would like to come with me, but we just talk on the phone. We never travel together, 'cause we can't leave the dog alone. She loves to go on vacation. That's my wife, not the dog. Up the coast to New England, living high on the hog. Well, I could kill for some lobster. My friends think I'm insane, 'cause it's home in the backyard where me and the dog remain. She came with some issues. That's the dog, not my wife. She took a bullet in her young years, and she was cut with a knife. They couldn't break her spirit, so they called her a cur. 'Cause when one got bloody, she made sure it was them and not her. So they gave up on her. They left her tied to a tree, where two honky-tonk angels picked her up and brought her to me, where she checked me over. I guess she thought I would do, and I made her a promise. From then on, her hard times would be through. She's got one ear that's tattered, and there's a scar on her jaw, and it's best not to cross her, or she'll lay down the law. She's a perfect companion for an old dog like me, and I try to live up to the man she hoped I might be. She's a perfect companion for an old dog like me. It's Two Old Dogs, based on a true story. There's a lot of truth in it. So anyhow, I hope all you guys on the chat are at least chatting with each other, if you can't chat with me. I'd get to go back and look at it later. And so speaking of dogs, I'm going to do another song that has a little bit of a dog theme. This one was written by Nora Jones. It's her or me. Oh, you know what? I should be capo to the second fret for this. That'll be better. We'll shorten up the intro this time. It's her or me. That's what she said. Man, I'm having trouble. It's her or me. That's what she said. But I can't choose between a vegan and a pothead. So I chose you because you're sweet. And you give me lots of loving and you eat meat. And that's how you became my only woman of the hour. You never lie, and you don't cheat, and you don't have any baggage tied to your 4 feet. Do I deserve to be the one to give you breakfast, lunch, and dinner and take you to the park at dawn? Will you really be my only woman of the hour? You know I'll never bring you flowers. You know flowers only die. And though we will never take a shower together, I know you'll never make me cry. You never argue, you don't even talk. And I like the way you lead me when we go out for a walk. Will you really be my only woman of the hour? My only woman of the hour. My only woman of the hour. So that's Woman of the Hour. Yes, Charlie, Suki Cam is a very popular popular feature on my concerts. It's probably more popular than most of the stuff. So I thought I would do 2 things here. I'm going to do 2 instrumentals in a row, and one of them, it was probably the most powerful instrumental that ever affected me when I was first learning to play the guitar. And the first person who I ever heard, well, the first person I heard play it on a record was Bert Jansch. But the first person I ever saw who played it live was a guy named Michael Harris, who I think a lot of you folks in Ohio know. I'm sure he's part of Folknet. And he and I were in high school together and in the folk music club. And he played it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Angie. That's the tune. And I am going to then try to play Tristano, which was, Angie was written by Davy Graham and perfected by Bert Jansch. Davy Graham, about 6-7 years later, wrote Tristano, which is an unbelievable explosion of ideas still stemming from the same kind of sound as Angie. So here's Angie for starters. So that's Angie, written by Davy Graham, perfected by Bert Jansch. And this is Tristano. So that's my best stab for this evening at Tristano. by Davy Graham. So, and thanks, Osling Bain says, wow, that's cool. And others say wow as well. I thank you all so much. So this actually, all those people out there who I know are chatting away and whose chats I will see later, especially my friends who stop by my concerts every day. I wrote this song for you guys. You've heard it a couple times, but I still feel like singing it to you, so I'm going to sing it to you one more time here. There's a light in the east as the new day begins, and I search for some wisdom to embrace. I have sat in this chair with my head in my hands and prayed for a moment of grace. And the days ramble on in their fanciful ways, as they did when I was in my prime. But as I look ahead, there's an ominous haze and the unyielding passage of time. So dear friends, gather round me, share in the running of the race. Your goodwill will surround me as we cherish these moments of grace. I can live in this refuge and fend off despair with my dog, my music, and my friends. And my heart reaches out as you're joining me there to embrace each moment till it ends. So dear friends, gather round me, share in the running of the race. Your goodwill will surround me as we cherish these moments of grace. Share the love, share the pain. Miles apart we stand together in these days, till we'll meet face to face. So dear friends, gather round me, share in the running of the race. Your goodwill will surround me as we cherish these moments of grace. There's a light in the east as the new day begins. Moments of grace. You guys have given me many, many moments of grace, and I appreciate it. So I have no idea about the time. because I futzed away a bunch of time trying to get the chat to work. So I think I'm going to do a couple more tunes, and then we'll call it a night. Good. We're closing in on 50 minutes. Well, that's good. That's good. So I'll do these two songs. This is a Bob Dylan song. What concert would be complete? A folk concert in America that includes anybody's songs other than the singer-songwriter himself, you know, who's doing it. Like if I went to like an Alex Bevan concert, I might not hear any Bob Dylan songs. But Alex is a great songwriter. And I'm just a humble guitar picker who occasionally trots out a song for you. I went to see the gypsy, staying in a big hotel. He smiled when he saw me coming, and he said, well, well, well. His room was dark and crowded. The lights were low and dim. How are you? He said to me. I said it back to him. I went out to the lobby to make a small call out. A pretty dancing girl was there, and she began to shout, go on back to see the gypsy. He will move you from the rear, drive you from your fear, pull you through the mirror. He did it in Las Vegas, and he can do it here. Outside the lights were shining on a river of tears. I watched them in the distance with the music in my ears. I went back to see the gypsy. It was nearly early morn. The gypsy's door was open wide, but the gypsy was gone. And that pretty dancing girl, she could not be found. So I watched the sun come rising from a little Minnesota town. From a little Minnesota town. Bob Dylan, I went to see the gypsy. It's off the New Morning album. What a great album that is. Gets lost in the shuffle among the other 50 albums he's made sometimes. Let's just check before we do our last tune here to see if the guitar is in something resembling a state of tune. close. Yeah, I think we can live with that. So I opened the show with a song by my friend Cozy Sheridan. And I'm going to close the show with a song by my friend Susie Burke. And coincidentally, Susie Burke and Cozy Sheridan used to be in a band together up there in New England. And Susie is married to a wonderful guitar player and mandolin player named David Surratt. And they perform as a duo, Susie Burke, David Surratt and Susie Burke. And Susie writes great songs. She's a good, solid guitar player. She's got a beautiful voice. I have an album called Songbirds in which I got a bunch of my favorite female vocalists. I conned them into each one doing a tune or two with me just playing solo jazz guitar behind them. And Susie did Skylark by Hoagie Carmichael, and boy, she just killed it. It was beautiful. Songbirds available at RaleighBrown.com. But this song is a different animal. This song is a really beautiful song called Higher Ground. And I even wrote on my sheet where to put the capo, because I'm a maroon sometimes. I am walking down this highway, and I don't care where I'm bound. There's a voice inside me that keeps on singing, boy, keep moving, don't turn around. The heat is rising off the pavement, sweat is rolling down my spine, but I'm willing, I'll keep moving, 'cause I'm trusting I'm gonna find higher ground, gonna lift me up, nothing's gonna hold me down. I hear the singing, I hear the sound, love is calling me to higher ground. Now my soul, it's been etched with heartache, just like everyone I know. And I carry all of it with me. And sometimes I know that shows. Some days it is my armor. Some days it is my crown. But believe me, soon I will be free. Crown or armor, I'm gonna set it down on higher ground, gonna lift me up, nothing's gonna hold me down. I hear the singing, I hear the sound, love is calling me to higher ground. Now maybe you've got a heartache, maybe you hurt like me. Maybe you feel that tether and you're straining to be free. Take my hand and walk beside me. Don't look back and don't look down. Raise your eyes up and see what we have found. Now there's no use wondering, no sense in asking why we're tested in our time. It's all just a mystery, and soon becomes our history. You got yours, and I got mine. When I find my piece of that holy heaven, I'll fly it like a banner straight out from my heart. Then I'm gonna tear it so I can share it. Won't you come now, take your part on higher ground, higher ground. Gonna lift me up, nothing's gonna hold me down. I hear the music, I hear the sound. Love is calling me. From higher ground. Susie Burke, Higher Ground. Beautiful, beautiful songwriting and a beautiful heart. So I want to thank you so much for joining me. I want to thank Charlie and all the folks at Folknet and Robin Stratton for having me. This is a kindness, and it's lovely to get to play. Nice. I mean, I could go on every day and do an hour like my buddy Alex does, but I just don't have it in me. And I think that to do this once in a while is a great treat for me. And Suki's really, she's very excited. You can see her over here. She's just like jumping for joy. Suki has a kind of wry sense of humor, so that's my girl. So anyhow, I'll end this the way I end them all. I thank you all for coming. I love all you folks who come see me all the time. And stay healthy, try to be happy, be brave, be calm, be kind. And as my buddy Alex would say, if you get cranky, take a nap. Good night. Charlie, you can get me out of here now.
There you go. Now I can hear you. I'm going to mute you so that we don't echo. Thank you, Raleigh Brown. Everybody in the comment section is saying thank you. They loved it. Everybody, it's a very enthusiastic group, and I bet you're looking forward to getting in there and reading it later on, Raleigh. So thank you very much. Hey, Raleigh Brown, thank you very much for being a part of this. Joe Rollin Porter, let me make sure I pronounce that correctly from now on. Now, I've learned something this evening. Joe Rollin Porter, thank you so much for joining us and playing. Joe's a great player too. We are so fortunate to have so many good musicians who are not only in this area, but from this area. And we are very grateful to support all the musicians in this area. And we are also grateful to Cuyahoga Arts and Culture for helping us to support the musicians through the pandemic. This has been a very important time for us to be able to step up and do something meaningful for the people in our community. So thank you for being a part of this. As always, please check our website. There is a link in the description, or you can just go to folknet.org and you can become a member of Folknet. We really do appreciate that. Donations are helpful too. They help us to continue this kind of programming year round, and we've got all kinds of good stuff. My cat is chiming in. He's got a lot to say. He seems to know when the microphone's on. He's a little more vocal than Suki this evening. Suki's a good dog. What was I saying here? According to my cat, I was saying meow, but I wasn't saying meow. Anyways, thank you for joining us this evening. Next month, we have Bing Futch and Gretchen Ploss. if you're not familiar with Bing, look him up on YouTube. It's really cool, really cool. It's going to be a very enjoyable concert. And in June, we have lined up Tom Castle with nautical songs. And opening for Tom is Sam Hooper, a local blues player. And that should be a great night, too. So keep those things in mind, and we look forward to seeing you. And thank you for joining us. Please stay safe, stay home. We're still in the middle of this. I got my second vaccine shot today, but we're not done yet. So let's keep on taking care of each other. Good night, and thank you from everybody at Folknet, and we will see you soon.